What's going on? What's up, people? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Happy Thursday. I'm live. I decided to go live today. Instead of dropping the post, why not go live and talk to my people, connect with my people? You know, I got the time. Why not do it? So here I am. Happy Thursday. Hope y'all doing good out there. We in here. Welcome. Y'all come on in. Let's fill up this. Let's fill it up, man. Let's get up in here and let's talk. Let's have a good conversation today, a good, open, honest conversation about Black businesses, about so-called Black spending power. What's going on, Chancellor Dodger? Hold up. Chancellor, yeah. Excuse me, Chance Rogers. I'm crazy. I can't see. Chance Rogers, I'm sorry. I can't see. I need glasses. Chance Rogers, what's going on, man? How you doing? How you doing? We up in here, man. We talking about the Black dollar. Talking about, I know, man, I'm tripping, man. I can't see. I gotta stop playing, man. Go get these glasses, man. I know. The Black dollar, Black businesses. Black business, man. You know what's going on 314 J Rock? What's going on? Are we really serious about building Black wealth, like generational wealth? Like, are we really serious about building up what we need to build up? You know, because I want to have this conversation today, and I got a couple videos, but I got a way I want to lay this out, right? So first and foremost, this live stream is a fundraiser. This live stream is a fundraiser, and this live stream is a fundraiser for Black Biz Tally. And Black Biz Tally is a Black business marketplace that exists here in Tallahassee, Florida, that I want to support. I want to support not only the marketplace, but the vendors in the marketplace, the Black business owners within the marketplace. I want to be able to support them. So this live stream, and I have another video, my actual interview of Black Biz Tally. That video as well is an interview. So I would like you all to be able to support the fundraiser. So the vendors within the Black Biz Tally network and other people can be able to benefit from the fundraiser. So hold on, let me. All right, so yeah, so Black Biz Tally, right? First, let me share my screen. All right, so this is the Black Biz Tally marketplace. This is the Black Biz Tally website. So it's an actual in-person marketplace, and it's an online marketplace. And you will go here to download the app to support the marketplace. So Apple or Android, whatever you got, you can go ahead and download the app, go to the website, blackbiztally.com, and be able to download the app to support the marketplace. And you can get a plethora of products and services through this website. And then you can sign up to be a vendor in the marketplace. If you click this link here, you can sign up to be a vendor in the marketplace and be able to sell your products. And you don't have to be in Tallahassee to be a part of this, but it was just created in Tallahassee, right? And so you can take advantage of all the apps, all the links and everything that's on this website to be able to promote your business and or support Black businesses. And so that's one of the main things that we're doing here is supporting Black Biz Tally with this fundraiser. And so with that being said, let me go ahead and set the tone for this, right? So we need y'all help. We need the help of the community. Let me put it like this. We need the help of the community. We need the help of the people. So we're calling on our community to come together for what would be a powerful cause, right? So on the shoulders of giants, in conjunction with PAX Inc. So that's Patrick and Professor Carl Tone Jones, our joint organization, PAX Inc. We're in collaboration with Black Biz Tally. We are launching this fundraiser campaign with one clear mission, and the mission is to raise $5,000 to create business scholarships for Black entrepreneurs. Once again, we're aiming to raise $5,000 for business scholarships for Black entrepreneurs. So just paint the picture, right? Everyday talented Black business owners face barriers to capital, resources, and opportunities that are critical for growth and sustainability. This initiative is about changing that reality. So these scholarships will help cover startup and expansion costs, provide access to business education and development resources, empower entrepreneurs to build, scale, and sustain their businesses, and strengthen the economic foundation of our community. This is bigger than business. This is about ownership. This is about legacy. And this is about economic empowerment and helping that Black dollar to circulate within our community continuously. So when you donate to this fundraiser, you are not just giving money, you are investing in Black entrepreneurship, community development, and the generation of generational wealth. So no amount is small, so donate what you can, but every dollar moves us closer to that $5,000 mark, that goal, and to a stronger Black business ecosystem. So make sure you be a part of the solution, be a part of the growth, and be a part of the legacy. So you can donate today to the fundraiser, and the fundraiser link is attached to this video, and it's also attached to the Black Biz Tally video as well. So you can help Black entrepreneurs further their business and be able to help that Black dollar continue to circulate within the Black community. So that's how we doing it. That's how we doing it. We want to help support people who are supporting the community. So getting it in. So once again, the link and the fundraiser information is attached to this video. Take advantage, please. Donate, please help. So, and share that with as many people as possible. All right. So like I said, we're talking about Black businesses overall because I believe the marketplace of Black Biz Tally is one of the solutions that we could use to help where we are with Black businesses, right? So we're starting off the conversation overall. I found that clip, the old clip of Wallow going off talking about don't just support a business because it's Black. So we're going to explore that. And then I found another video from Hype News, and the title of that video is Why Blacks Don't Support Black-Owned Businesses. Because we're really looking at is, oh, thank you very much for supporting that. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to help support people, once again, supporting people who are giving back to our community, the unsung heroes, the people who are pouring into our community, creating opportunities for other people. I'm going to show you a bit of that Black Biz Tally video in this live stream as well. But this hype news video is talking about why Blacks don't support Black-owned businesses. So we are going to really explore, do Black people really support Black-owned businesses? Because we talk about supporting Black-owned businesses, but do we really support Black-owned businesses? And one of the answers is, well, we know part of that because of the Black dollar. And from my understanding, the Black dollar is only circulating like 6 hours within the Black community. So, you know, what that tell you, right? And so we're also going to take a look at the Black Biz Tally video so you can get a sense of what they are doing, what they bring to the table, and how a hub like that can be used, because that's not just the only hub like that, but hubs like that and marketplaces like that can be used to actually really support Black businesses overall. And then we're going to be looking at the myth of Black buying power. You know, we always hear Black people have buying power. We spend $1.7 trillion a year, and we have this buying power, this and that and that. So we're going to take a look at that. It's a conversation with Dr. Jared Ball and Mark Lamont Hill, looking at the myth of Black buying power. So we're going to get into that. He says there are thousands of Black men and women who graduate from college yearly, degrees in anything you can think of, and Black elders preach do for self but won't open LinkedIn and network with. And so, well, we gotta, I know, and so that's why I try to find other ways to be able to connect. If And then I try to be a connector myself within my community and within the people that I'm coming in contact with. I try to connect people. I'm with you on that. OO's Corner, I'm with you on that. And that's why I try to do that myself. I try to connect people all the time with opportunities and things like that. Like, I got a restaurant. It's a restaurant here in Tallahassee that's hiring, and as many young men as I've connected so many young men to that restaurant, trying to make sure they get them a job, and I'm trying to connect them to restaurants and places around here that's hiring, that I know I got the hookup that I can help them out and get them technical vocational skills and any other skills and stuff they need. We need to be connecting so we can get these hubs and these networks going. But you're right. But if the older folk won't do it, then we got to do it. But I'm with you. I agree. So before we get deep in this, let me go ahead and run my commercial, because we're talking about supporting Black business. Let me go ahead and promote my Black business. So let me run my commercial real quick. Oh, I told y'all I was going to get my merch shop up and running. So I've got it. So I want to show y'all my merch shop. So this is it. So I got some hats. So I got my own The Shoulders of Giants hats available for order. I have shirts. This is supposed to be like a canvas, some kind of shirt, jersey shirt. I don't know why they got that design, but it's a jersey shirt. Somebody wanted. They got hoodies, regular shirts, heavy, what they call it, the heavy tee, tees for men's, unisex tees for women, everything. I got a mug. I gotta get this mug too. But this is the merch that I have available. See, I got my mug, I have my hats, and I have my apparel available. And all of that is, the links and stuff are below and connected to the video. So I got my merch shop up and running. Been working on that for a minute in the background to get my merch shop up and running. So I got it up and running. So if you want to support the channel, get you some merch, it's all available. Links below and links attached to the video. Yep. So if you feel like supporting, go ahead, get you some merch, get that mug, get them hats, get all that stuff, and do what you do. Rock it and be fly. So like I say, today. And once again, thank you and welcome to everybody to Own the Shoulders of Giants. If this is your first time here, I am Joseph Ward. The foundation of this channel is telling the stories of the sung and unsung heroes of the African diaspora. We also have real conversations about how white supremacy affects all 9 areas of human activity. We also have conversations about what we can do as Black people to better our situation. But I also like to shine the spotlight on others in my community and within Black American and diaspora who are doing amazing things to help Black people be empowered and push forward. So that's what we do over here. We keep it real. We keep it real. So with that being said, today it's the same, and we're having an honest conversation, and a conversation that some people avoid, but some people don't really understand when we're having this conversation, right? Because we hear it all the time about the black buying power is over $1 trillion, and they say buying power is over $1 trillion. And then we also hear support Black businesses. We hear that support Black business, support Black business, support Black business. We hear that all the time. And then we hear keep the dollar in the community. We've been hearing that all my life. I'm sure all y'all lives too. Circulate the black dollar, all this stuff is. But here's the real question that we have to ask. If we have all this so-called buying power, why doesn't it look like power? Why doesn't it feel like power? And why hasn't it actually translated into any real power or any real tangible outcomes if it's really power? Uptight. What's going on, my brother? Uptight. How you doing, my brother? Shalom. Happy Thursday, my brother. Happy Thursday. Uptight and upright. There you go. What's going on, my brother? So if we look at that and statistics and everything, like, we hear what people say, but we're spending between 1.6 and I think they say 1.7, could be up to $2 trillion every year. We're spending that. Spending it. And that's not a small amount of money. We're talking about a GDP. If it was aggregated, it would be one of the largest GDPs in the world. If it was aggregated, but it's not aggregated, right? But at the same time, Black-owned businesses make up only a tiny percent of the total businesses in America. And we know that is due to population size, which is a whole nother conversation about population. So where is the money actually going? But because we know we're spending it, and it's called spending power. The key word is spending. And even deeper than that, right? When Black consumers do choose to support Black businesses, what is the experience like on the other end? Is the service excellent? Is it consistent? Is it competitive? And another question is, does it really have to be? Because even in that sense, I'm calling bullshit on a lot of Black people. And I'll tell you why. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna tell you why. One of the real issues is that, we don't like to be honest, we don't like to talk about it, but if we want to build something strong, we have to be able to critique it and we have to support it. You should be able to critique it and support it. So we got to deal with reality. We got to stop lying to ourselves. We got to stop trying to make people feel good. And we got to make sure that we're in the actual business of empowerment, right? So Black businesses are more likely to be denied loans. They start with less capital. They often don't have the same infrastructure or support systems as businesses from other people, especially whites and other folk that get government assistance and stuff. So this conversation is not about tearing down Black businesses, but it's having a real look at it, right? We're telling the truth so we can build stronger Black businesses, right? Because the bottom line is, if we truly have economic power, then we should be able to see the fruits of that power. We should be able to see it in our neighborhoods. We should be able to see it in our institutions. We should be able to have institutions. And we should be able to have it in our ownership. So today we're going to break this down in the best way that we can. We're looking at, we know Black buying power is real, but we want to make sure that we understand why Black buying power is real and see how we can get to actual real Black buying power and not just on this thing having conversations and talking junk. We got $1.7 trillion in Black buying power. Black spending power. Spending. But what about actual power? So social status is linked to how much we bolster, advance, empower, invest in white supremacy, aka Eurocentrism, exercising Eurocentric values. Psychology is the norm. You're right. Because white ice is colder. We got to have the labels. You got to have the labels. And if you don't have the labels, what you doing? If you ain't got the Louis Vuitton, you ain't got the BMW, you ain't got, man, what you doing? You ain't made it. You haven't made it until you got the white labels on your back. What's going on, Battle Genja? What's going on, my brother? What it is? So remember, like, the idea that Black businesses have to be excellent, have to be consistent, they have to be competitive is bullshit. And I tell you why, because examples like Walmart, the customer service and the quality of stuff at Walmart, Waffle House, Popeyes, Whataburger, all of these white entities with Black faces, but these white entities at the end of the day, and we know that they are white entities, no matter how bad the service. Matter of fact, folk go to Waffle House for the bad service. People go to Waffle House to see a fight. Don't sit here and tell me that Black businesses have to always be on point. Now, I'm not advocating for Black businesses to be bad and sloppy. Boy, what I am saying is the excuse that the Black businesses across the board have to be on point, when we make it a point to support white-owned entities that have historical representations or reputations, rather, historical reputations for being horrible when it comes to service, horrible when it comes to quality, horrible when it comes to customer interaction, all these things. And Black people still line up to go to these places. That's how you know we be lying a lot. Because we'll still go to you're a Black person to go to McDonald's, have a horrible experience, and go back the next day. At the end of the day, the people working there being Black don't mean nothing. They know it's a white-owned business. It's white-owned business, so they're still going to go back and support it. And that's the thing. Miss Elizabeth, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Cool Kang, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah. One person on the register, Chance. One person on, but we still go back. I'm talking about we'll Dollar Tree. Like I'd have been a Dollar Tree so many times where like the line is from the register to the back of the store, and they don't care. Like the girl at the register ain't, her customer service is trash. Like all this stuff. The other dude at the register, his customer service trash. Like, but folks still line up to go to these places. Popeyes ain't going out of business no time soon. Everybody. Popeyes is the standard of what you don't want your business to be, and people still line up to go to Popeyes. So once again, I'm not saying black businesses should not be on point, but what I am saying is, if you're going to tell me that black businesses have to be this and have to be that, well, we got everyday proof that we know y'all lying. We just, that's that vacant esteem poking his head. You know what I'm saying? Our superficiality hurts us every time. Our models are not race conscious. Like white businesses got race training to dodge lawsuits. We need race training to keep us empowered via counter racist code. There you go, my brother. Counter racist code. There you go. And I think I do, but in saying that though, I do think black businesses should, like any business, but especially black business, we should give our people the best service, and black people need to be better customers, because we do need to talk about the customers, because black people, we could be trash ass customers. Like the ones who go into these businesses, go to black businesses and look down on black businesses. Like part of the conversation now, we don't really support black businesses. A lot of these businesses, their prices are going to be what they are because they are, but y'all don't care about what the white folk prices are. You'll go to Ruth's Chris. I've been to Ruth's Chris. That food ain't good enough for them prices. I was mad when I went to Ruth's Chris, because I was like, I could have went to Longhorn and cooked the steak at the house for this. $100 meal for this? It wasn't even that good. But we will pay the prices at the white businesses because that makes us feel like we have status. And then we will complain about the prices at the black businesses because we're too good for those prices. And they should give us a hookup, especially like when businesses be starting, they have to charge what they charge, you know. But it's like, you know, people buy what they want to buy, and we support what we want to support. So with that being said, man, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. He said, I am black through and through, and I have a question. What about black businesses that want to be seen as black? Do we still visit them? Well, I would say I would look at their overall action and their overall mission, right? So because there is strategy in that, Miss Elizabeth, there is strategy in that. Because I would look, if that black owned business doesn't want to be seen as black, but that black owned business is doing a whole lot of stuff to empower the community and the people that support it and the community that houses it, I don't care if you don't call yourself no color. Keep getting that money. Keep getting that money and keep doing what you're doing. I think that in some instances, and I'm not going to say that you take that across the board, but in some instances, them calling themselves black is not that big a deal, especially if the actions are black enough. But if they're not calling themselves black, they're not supporting the community, they're not doing all that, we shouldn't be supporting them anyway. And that gets into this opening clip, right? Do we support businesses just because they're black? But if you're not calling yourself black, sometimes that is strategy. But once again, are your actions black? So that's my thought on that. You said 100% true. That's the most frustrating thing. You already know. It says yes, the duality of trading the business trading the business like you treat your family is BS. We see commonality instead of power, self for our people, closeness, or of conversation bias. Right. Yes, and see, and another thing too, Miss Elizabeth, I think about it like the spook that sat by the door, right? The spook that sat by the door. Or I even give you another example. So let's say Michael Jordan still played in the NBA. And I just use Michael Jordan because we all know who he is. And let's say Michael Jordan played in the NBA today. And this Michael Jordan that we're talking about was a very pro-black conscious brother. And he never said anything about any black issues in the media, like at all. And so, but we're labeling him pro-black and conscious because behind the scenes, he doing a whole lot. But we already know that like the world that he exists in, if they find out a lot of stuff, then that could mess the money up. And he's using the money to empower the community. So shut up. We got other people who can speak out pro-black. You just do your part. And I see it like that because on the team, everybody plays a different position, and some positions need to be dark workers. Some people need to be dark workers. Some people need to just continue doing what you do to feed and empower the community. They don't need to say nothing. We just need to go ahead and make sure we're supporting them. And goes to another conversation is we need to learn how to support those who are actually really doing things in the community. Going to the opening clip, just because they black, do we still support them? So matter of fact, let's go ahead and run this clip.
No black people, nobody gives a fuck about that. Kill that shit. Ow. Either you got a good business or you don't. All that shit, don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material of your shit good? Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people? No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah. Don't fuck about what color you is. I'm gonna spend my money. That paper, I'm gonna spend them millions where the fuck I want to spend it at. Whether it's Porsche, Ferrari, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I ain't gonna be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you motherfuckers is not going to make it. I'm not no motherfucking fake ass motivational speaker that talk this dumb shit. I'm the #1 nigga in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I make millions and I make millionaires, baby. You understand me? I come from.
So does he have a point? I know when that came out, it caused a lot of stir. But does he have a point? Do we just accept anything because the entity is black? Or do we expect the best out of our businesses? But at the same time, are we giving our businesses the best? Because if we're not, it's a relationship. It's a symbiotic relationship. The community supports the business as the business supports the community. And it's also like expectations and things. Like when we go into Chick-fil-A, we already know you don't go into Chick-fil-A with that bullshit. Like you already know that. Like people turn off they Negro and they crazy chips when they go into Chick-fil-A and they act like they got some sense because that's the environment that they created. And they say, we're gonna have good customer service, we're gonna be like this, we're gonna be like that. Right, it's all about standards. It's all about standards. And if you don't set the standards, because like when I go in the Whataburger and I'm from Florida, so we call young people jits. I don't use the YN stuff. I use jit. So I see a young jit at the counter, at the restaurant. Man, what's up, man? What you want your order, man? What's up, twin? What you want on your order, man? Yeah, I already know this going left. So the young men that I work with, I try to make sure that they understand, man, presentation and standards are everything. I appreciate that, Battle Ganger. So B-Nuck, I guess you could say the best, if we're asking best black-owned banks, that's about subjective. But from what I'm looking up, B-Nuck, One United Bank, Industrial Bank, and Citizens Bank. One United is they have branches in Boston, Los Angeles, and Miami. Industrial Bank is in Washington, D.C., and Citizens Bank is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. So those are like the top 3 rated black-owned banks. And then there's also Mechanics and Farmers Bank. which is in Durham, North Carolina. There's Carver Federal Savings Bank, which is in New York. Liberty Bank and Trust Company, which is in New Orleans. Alamerica Bank, which is in Birmingham, Alabama. Commonwealth National Bank in Mobile, Alabama. GN Bank in Chicago, Illinois. City First Bank in Washington, D.C. So those are banks that Black-owned banks that we have throughout the country. So do we need to keep the overall goal in mind? What's the goal? Power or money? Will our actions lead to power, or I'm just at? So we need power more than we need money. But money goes into it. It's like land, wealth, power, and resources. Land, wealth, power, and resources. That's always have been the goal. And money can be power, depends on who use it. I would say go more toward power than money, because even with power, if you have the right power, you can devalue money. So, but in order to even think about power or money, we have to get the unity thing together. Like we have to get the cooperative economics thing together, the cooperative working thing together. We have to be able to aggregate our money, aggregate our resources, aggregate our skills, and aggregate everything and be able to work together as a cohesive unit if we even want to talk about getting to power or wealth or anything like that. You know, we need to start from the beginning. We need to we got to work together. We got to work together. Pursuing money is playing within the rules of the game. Our enemies print money for us to play with. And so I always say you got to master the rules of the game before you change the rules. And one of the rules of the game is this is a team sport. And that's one rule that we breaking from the beginning is we're not even playing this like it's a team game. We playing this like it's some kind of individual thing. You can't play a team sport as an individual. You're going to always lose. Think about it like football. Every person that's on the field is important. When you watch the Super Bowl, when the Kansas City Chiefs played against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line was trash and they could not run the ball. Patrick Mahomes, as good as he is, as great as Patrick Mahomes is, you saw him running for his life that whole game, right? Because everybody talk about how important the quarterback is, but think about how important that offensive line was and why they didn't win that game. So use that analogy to us as Black people. We have to understand how important every position is. I don't give a damn whatever. But like football, the quarterback position gets all the shine. But if your offensive line is trash, you ain't talking about nothing. There are no victories. If your defense can't tackle, there are no victories. If you don't work as a team, there are no victories. None. There's no power. There's no glory. There's no wealth. There's no nothing. You'll continue to be subjugated. And that's the whole goal of the psychological conditioning, is to convince us to operate as individuals so we won't even play the team game. That's why I always use the analogy is Black people are at the chessboard with Uno cards in our hands turned backwards and wondering why we're not getting no progress. So, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Said somebody should have changed him, but two things stand out. Theotarded church preacher trigger response and not having combat skills to respond to aggressive action in emotionally fragile people. Hey, yep. Can't support what's not there or a place you can get killed at. Imagine going to a Black owned car wash and someone next to you gets shot up and you get. No, I respect that. I agree. But see, that's why I say the community and the Black owned business is on trial here. Grand joy. I agree. That's why I'm indicting the businesses and the community, because it's a symbiotic relationship. The business have to take care of the community have to take care of the business, right? Appreciate you, Uptight. Look, if you're right. If you got a bunch of crazy young folks standing outside of businesses, you know how many Black people are afraid to go to businesses, certain Black businesses or certain businesses within Black communities because of the environment. So we have to think about that as well. We have to be able to change our mindset on everything. If platitudes versus action, it's platitudes versus action, because we can say black business and do for self till the cows come home, but until we actually start tangibly acting on what we say and profess, there you go. Owo's corner. You right. I mean, you right. You right. When you right, you right. You right. Be nice and start with the mindset with your upbringing, weaponize and leverage your spending as collective. There you go. We talk too damn much. And that is one of our problems. We talk too damn much. So let's get to this first video. This is why blacks don't support black-owned businesses. So hold on. All right. All right, let's get it. Please hit that like button.
For Hype Plus, I'm Tatiana LaJoy. Black-owned businesses are unprofessional. Many people in the Black community have either said or thought this at one point or another. This statement stems from various experiences that ultimately lead to them spitefully banning Black-owned businesses from their shopping, date night outings, or self-care expenditures. In 2021, the growth in Black spending power reached $1.6 trillion, which doubled since the year before, yet our wealth has fallen by 14%. This means that 99% of our buying.
So think about what she just said. If the spending power, so-called spending power, has reached 1.6, 1.7 trillion, which has been doubled, but our wealth has fallen. What does that mean? And you know what? I was telling people that in 2021. In 2021, matter of fact, me, Pat, and PC did a podcast. We were still doing our Freedom Train podcast series at that time. We did a podcast when we were looking at the wealth, because the wealth of Black people had dropped like maybe 3 to 5% or something like that. It was a dramatic drop in the wealth of Black people, but we were touting about the spending power. But listen to what she just said. If you're spending X amount of money and your wealth is decreasing, that's not power. There's no power in giving all your money to other people. You're right. You do protect what you love. You do. We will have to create forums, chat rooms, message chairs. If you have a startup, you have to actually act and pay the graphics to provide you services. Well, but that's also creating a network of Black people working together and helping each other. You know what I'm saying? So, week number, what of the same place, your foot on the attorney, FBA, damn, start something other than a fight in the complaining session, pessimistic. What's the I don't know what that means. Okay, our people barely even, there you go. Look, we have to, once again, we talk too much. We complain too much, and we don't just do enough. But also, we don't understand a lot too. We allow the media to tell us that this is power. It's not power giving all your money away to other people, especially when other people are able to. Because we also talk about not having money within our own communities, but other people come in our communities, take up all the money, and become wealthy. Lady V, how you doing?
Buying power is spent outside of our community. These statistics imply that Black people know how to make money, but we do not know how to keep it.
There you go.
The Black dollar stays in our community for 6 hours, while it stays in the Asian community for 28 days.
Well, it's actually a couple of things. For one, we could seem that we're rude, and it's not all about good customer service.
That's a problem. Why am I spending my money with you and you're too sensitive to even take the criticism necessarily needed?
It's so expensive, which I can understand. Certain people or certain places, they kind of hit you over the head with price.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just
hating. That's all I can think of is hating, just because of the fact that they see one person doing their thing. It's hard for them to congratulate them.
There has to be a reason why.
Now, once again, attitudes, customer service, presentation, environment, all those things are an issue. But at the same time, we line up to go to Waffle House for that same experience. We line up to go to Popeyes for that same experience. We line up to go to certain Whataburgers and certain restaurants that have the ghetto tag, but are not black owned, but they just hire a lot of black people. McDonald's, depending on where it is, all those things there. So when it comes to, we have a low tolerance for bad customer service when it comes to black people, but we give grace to white businesses in that same realm. So
Black owned are the only businesses that are blackballed by their own community. You don't see this sort of attitude in other ethnic communities.
Most of
Could
us
it be
don't love
because of
ourselves.
systemic oppression, personal irresponsibility, deep-rooted psychology, or is it all of the above? Here's why Black people don't support Black-owned businesses. A common frustration among many African Americans is our constant appropriation of our culture. We are so proud of our culture because of everything it represents: strength, vitality, perseverance, and flavor. There's no denying that Black is beautiful. But if we truly believe this, why do we not profit on our culture as much as other races do? One reason for this is because we lack trust within our community. According to supportblackowned.com, there are even Black business owners that choose to not support Black businesses. When asked why, they answer that Black-owned businesses are unprofessional and no others besides theirs should be supported. But where does this unprofessional stereotype come from? Let's start from the bottom and determine what it takes to start a business.
So, and to your point, Lady V, you are absolutely correct. We want status. A lot of Black people start businesses because they want status. They want to be rich. Sion, what's going on? They want to be rich. They want white proximity. They want white acceptance. They want white people to tell them that they made it. They want others to tell them that they made it. They're not necessarily doing it for reasons that could help the community. They're doing it for themselves. It's the individualistic stuff. And once again, that's the problem. Like, Black businesses are not going to grow. The environment for Black businesses is not going to get better if the business owners and the customers continue operating the way we operate. Customers think they too good for the Black businesses, and the Black businesses think they too good for the Black customers. Everybody trying to impress everybody else, and we're overlooking ourselves. That's our problem.
It takes a lot of effort to start a business, and it begins with market research. Market research involves gathering data to learn about target audiences so that a business owner can determine factors such as the demand, market size, and market saturation. Knowing these things can help a business develop a strong foundation so they can have growth and longevity. After that work is done, a business plan needs to be made, which is based on all of the market research that has been done.
If you ever want to know if people are doing market research, ask them what's their customer base that they are targeting, and who are their customers and all those things. Ask all those questions. They tell you they don't know. Now, we don't support each other no more, Wayne Smith. We don't, because we don't like each other. Black people don't like to admit that there's enough of us that don't like each other. Vacant esteem is real. So Dr. Joy DeGroot gave us the explanation and provides the training for the better relationship business, right? And she talks about the vacant esteem. We don't like each other, but we don't want to admit it. We treat our behaviors show it. Our behaviors show it. So let me let it play, not talk too much.
Done. This plan can either be traditional, which is usually dozens of pages long, or a lean startup, which is typically about a page long. Next is figuring out the best way to fund your business by first determining how much you will need and figuring out which is the best method to get that money, whether that be through bank loan, crowdfunding, or investors. Depending on what kind of business you have, the next steps vary and include choosing a business name, structure, and location, and registering your business. This is the bare minimum to start a successful business, yet many Black businesses do not invest the time to establish a strong foundation for their company. One of the biggest complaints is that Black businesses are hard to find. This is a clear indicator that most of these businesses do not take enough time to do market research or organize their finances to allow for advertising budget. Advertising is important for businesses because it drives growth by targeting the right audiences and attracting paying customers. Getting customers is important, but keeping them is crucial. We live in a time where there's an abundance of small businesses and it's very competitive. Creating customer loyalty is the key to continued profitability for any successful business, and the best way to create customer loyalty is to have great customer service.
Right.
This might be the biggest culprit of unsuccessful Black-owned businesses.
Now, to her point, we still got to realize that the customer has the low or vacant esteem as well. So I've seen Black businesses give the greatest service, and Black people still have a problem with them. And so, and to Owo's Corner comment, I agree. And see, that's one thing that Dr. John Henrik Clarke talked about. He got on us about that too. But those things are happening in silos, though. The things that you're talking about, I've seen, but they're in silos. There's no aggregation of those things as a group, even in cities or states or areas of the country, nothing like that. Because I'm not even saying Black people have to. The whole country of Black people have to connect like that, but at least like all of Florida can connect, and all of Georgia, and all of, and then you can start in your communities, like the community. But those things are happening in silos, and that's a community. That's a problem. We demonstrate oikophobia so hard in the most inappropriate ways. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that phobia is. You're going to have to help me out. We don't fit in because everything was started by us through our maker, and now it is used against us. Yeah, we were brought here to be labor. Remember, we were brought here to be labor. We know how to work. Now it's time for us to change our mindsets and learn how to own, operate, and control. Cultural pride breeds a high esteem group. There you go, Gigi. There you go. There you go. I can say because of the way I present and behave, I get great service from Black folks. There's something in my spirit that's respectful of the soul in front of me, and I treat them with much love. Yes. Thank you very much. How you doing? How's your day? All those things. Hope you have a great day. I appreciate you. Those are things that I try to do on a regular basis. Whenever I'm in Black-owned businesses, whenever I'm just operating with Black people, just people, period. I try to be polite. I try to be respectful. I try to be nice. I try to make sure I'm on point. Thank you very much. I appreciate your service. All those different things. Black people need healing. Look, we need the hands of something to come down and help us. You're right. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. All creation has been anxiously waiting for the revealing of the true sons of Yah. What Black businesses are you talking about? What is the name of the Black businesses Blacks don't support? A whole bunch of Black businesses that Black people don't support. If Black wealth is decreasing, then how are Black businesses truly being supported? Because if $1.7 trillion is being spent, that means we're spending more money with other people than we're spending with us. If the Black dollar is circulating in Black communities only 6 hours, what does that tell you? I'm just saying. But let's let this keep playing.
Many customers complain about unprofessionalism, with stores being closed during business hours, business owners or employees with bad attitudes, and unapologetic bad service. Most Black people want to support Black businesses, but don't want to deal with the headache.
There you go.
At the end of the day, bad business is bad business, no matter where it's coming from. YouTube user at Natural Life wrote, I desperately want to support Black businesses, but I can't. Case in point, I live in Metro Atlanta. There are Asian nail shops and Black-owned shops. I've gone to Asians mostly, but now I refuse to give them a dime of my money. I tried going to Black-owned, but they have no clue how to run a business. I go to an Asian shop. I'm in and out in an hour or less. Black-owned, I was in there 3.5 hours. Asians smile at me and ask, what color you like? Black-owned roll their eyes and acted like I was bothering them. Very rude, gossiping with each other, cursing, etc. I just do my own nails now. I miss the Asian shop, but refuse. We do not understand how to run a business, many of us. Always running out of supplies, etc. My money is valuable to me. Treat me with the respect and do a timely good service, and I will support your Black-owned business.
So to this, because, and if I get disrespect, I don't blame the race, I blame the person, because this comment is hyperbolic, because it is basically, I'm done with Black-owned nail shops altogether, and I'm done with Asian. You could be done with Asian nail shops, but done with all black-owned nail shops. Maybe that black-owned nail shop, but not all black-owned nail shops, not black-owned businesses across the board. Because how do we ever prosper if we harbor that thing there? But at the same time, I bet you this young lady done been to Waffle House and they've been cussed out and went back because she in Atlanta. So I'm just saying.
This is not to bash our people, but more so to take ownership of what is lacking and how it can be improved. Black company owners have a tendency to put minimal effort into their company and expect to be treated like businesses that do put the effort in. In this era where being woke is very prominent, many Black-owned businesses will rely on being Black-owned as the main reason why they should be supported. When they aren't supported, defense is the first reaction when it should be an opportunity for introspection and growth. But let's also talk about the Black-owned businesses that have done the work. They know their target audience, they spend money on advertisement, and they have a solid business plan. But some of these businesses suffer based on the bad stereotypes created by the less successful Black-owned businesses. There are two theories that may explain this. One is the crabs in a barrel mentality that our community unfortunately adheres to. The Black community simply has more haters than other communities, and that's why there are no Black communities like Chinatown, Little Italy, or Little Russia. The reason being is most Black people come from poverty-stricken backgrounds and tend to glorify hood attributes, being gangsta, hard, etc. If you are an individual that wants to rise above the stereotype, most Black people will tear you down or ridicule you. There's many cases of Black parents being jealous of their own children. It hurts people to see others succeed because it shines a light on their own insecurities. They'll say things like, "You think you're better than me," if you happen to be doing better than them because you worked for it. It's a slave mentality passed down through generations, epigenetics. Another theory is generational trauma. In his 1952 semi-autobiographical novel, Go Tell It on the Mountain, famous African-American author James Baldwin asked, "Could a curse come down so many ages? Did it live in time or in the moment?" The trauma of slavery has been carried on throughout generations of African Americans and is manifested through poor health and poverty. We are aware of the residual effects of slavery that we see in our community. A more recent example of generational trauma would be the riot of Tulsa's Greenwood district. In 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma's Black Wall Street was one of the most successful African American communities in the United States. However, on May 31st, 1921, an African-American man named Dick Rowland was accused of attempting to rape a white woman named Sarah Page. The white community did not want to wait for the investigation to happen and instead took matters into their own hands by lighting 35 blocks on fire, injuring 800 people and killing 300. This tragedy resulted in 9,000 Black people becoming homeless and destroying a community with a remarkable school system, indoor plumbing, banks, hotels, and contemporary homes. The state of Oklahoma had only 2 airports, yet 6 Black families owned their own planes. The average income of African Americans in that community exceeded what minimum wage is today. Caucasians didn't realize that their segregation actually empowered us as a community. Since we were no longer able to shop at white establishments, the Black dollar circulated in our own community and Black businesses flourished.
Now remember, the last time the Black dollar really circulated in the Black community and the last time the Black dollar really flourished is when we were forced to work together. We were forced to be together. Forced. And I've talked about this before. One of our main problems is we don't do things like that unless we're forced. We're not truly investing in Black businesses across the board unless we're forced. We're not truly making these things happen for us unless we're forced on a large scale. It happened when we were forced into segregation. That's a problem. That goes to the mindset that we have. Oh, and to Radical for God, I know I don't know why you need a name of it, but I give you an example since you really want it. I give you an example. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida, Radical for God. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. There's a Black-owned business called Hemp Laid. Hemp Laid sold vegan soul food in the Black community, in the heart of Frenchtown, the Black community, in the middle of a Black community. Hemp Laid sold vegan soul food. An Arab restaurant who sells fried foods opened up next to it. Lemon Pepper. It's a black front, but it's an Arab-owned restaurant. Lemon Pepper. Which restaurant you think the black people supported more? The vegan soul food or the fried food from the Arabs? Which one you think they supported the most? Because lemon pepper still exists. Hemp lay don't exist no more in the middle of the black community. That's one name for you. Is that good enough for you? Now, you tell me why I need to name a whole bunch of names for you to look at the statistics and see that black people don't really support black businesses like that. If the black dollar circulates 6 hours in the black community, what does that tell you? What is your argument? What is your argument? But yeah. Let me see. The 90s had programs, do groups for free often, and the nice of the groups that teach to give the therapy from FBA therapists says use that okiophobia instead of self. Hold on, let me see. It's a process. Okay, okiophobia. It's a process, and it all takes in one step. Artists need logics that would need warehouses. Oh, excuse me, I read the wrong. Okiophobia is the fear, distrust, or contempt for one's own home, culture, and society. It involves a desire to degenerate one's own cultural roots and institutions. Okiophobia. Gotcha. So, once again, black people, we got to do a better job of supporting black businesses, and black businesses, we got to do a better job of supporting the communities that house the businesses. Because even she's going down the historical road, we can go down the historical road all we want. But if we're not going to replicate it, stop talking about Tulsa. Stop talking. You can name as many things Black Wall Street as you want. We don't have the Black Wall Street mindset. We don't. And then remember, if we really want to be honest about Black Wall Street, the bombings of Black Wall Street wasn't the end of Black Wall Street. It was rebuilt. Black Wall Street was rebuilt. The white ISIS coder mentality at the end of the day is what put the nail in the coffin for Black Wall Street and others of the like. The white ISIS coder mindset, because Greenwood, that Wall Street was rebuilt. And black people was able to go back to doing businesses and stuff, but white businesses and white opportunities came up. So, like, once again, like, we look at history and we like to romanticize history, but we don't like to take action on it and make and create more history while we're doing this stuff.
Josie Pickens records in an Ebony article that lower class white people in neighboring areas were undoubtedly jealous of this affluent black community and felt the need to put progressive, high-achieving African Americans in their place. The financial power afforded to the black community could not save them from the racial hostility at the time. Whites resented the fact that blacks no longer passively accepted second-class citizenship in what they perceived as their land. The district newspaper would call the black community things like Little Africa in town. They labeled them as bad ends who drank booze, took dope, and ran around with guns.
Of course.
They created a narrative that the black community was predisposed to crime and was in need of social control. This narrative helped them justify their actions of deadly violence towards the black community under a shield of reprimands. The newspaper even suggested that the KKK could help restore order in the community, which in fact, the agency behind their order was to suppress the power that they felt the black community did not deserve. Portraying blacks as criminals helped enforce a violent racist ideology. Following the riot, the mayor planned to redesign the community for industrial purposes. Essentially, it was a geographical problem because the government viewed that area as an ideal location for business expansion, so they brought down land prices and established white dominance in the area. Hannibal Johnson, author of The Black Wall Street, From Riot to Renaissance in Tulsa's historic Greenwood District, explains that neither the survivors nor their families ever received the reparations suggested by the Tulsa Race Riot Commission.
Right.
In an interview on The Breakfast Club, founder and CEO of The Wealth Factory, Angel Smith, expresses how we have been robbed of our reparations. Blacks were defeated during this time.
We haven't been robbed of our reparations. We haven't taken them. You can't be a powerless group of people asking for something What's gonna make them do it? They bombed. They did everything they did to black people in history. How are we gonna make them up them reparations? Because the moral and the godless stuff ain't working. So what are we gonna do? Like black people, they're not going to do that. We have to do it for ourselves. So let's get off this this train of giving all our money to everybody else, and let's learn to recirculate those dollars for ourselves. Ain't nobody gonna build nothing for ourselves. We have to reinvest in ourselves. We have to aggregate the black dollar for ourselves. We have to be able to see the value in working for each other. Black people don't trust each other when it comes to money. And let's be real about that too. When it comes to money, that's when black people really start having trust issues. But also another problem is there's too much of a history of black people being untrustworthy when it comes to money. Look at the situation that's going on now in Baltimore with their mayor. Spending money he ain't supposed to spend. Look at what the super mayor Tiffany Henyard, what she was doing. Look at, I'm in Tallahassee. The knock on FAMU, Florida Agriculture Mechanical University. The knock on FAMU has always been they stealing money. So we have all these things that we have to fix within us, but that comes with a paradigm shift, a mentality change, a mindset change, a value resetting of how we see each other. So, hey, ain't nobody gonna do it for us but us. We got to get our stuff together.
To know that their beloved community was so fragile and their perceived power seemed fickle compared to that of the elite and lower class whites. Essentially, the black community was deboned by the white community, and that trauma still lives today. Is this why black businesses don't have a strong infrastructure today? Is there an inherent fear that any success we have can and will be taken away by envious people with more power? It wasn't just Tulsa. Race massacres also devastated communities in Georgia, Arkansas, Michigan, Mississippi, and Florida, just to name a few. As Martin Luther King put it, when Negroes assertively moved on to ascend the second rung of the ladder, a firm resistance from the white community developed. The black dollar circulating within our own community was a threat back then, and systems were put in place and narratives were spread to prevent it from happening again. That oppression is still relevant today and lives in our subconscious as a community. It's shocking how many people are unaware of the traumatic past of African Americans. This trauma is intergenerational, and
we haven't learned from our past clearly. Well, we already know anything that's a threat to white power will be met with force. We already know that. Our goal is to become a threat to white power. So if our goal is to become a threat to white power, we should be prepared for force. And stop complaining. Understand the world. We don't read history. We don't understand history. We don't apply it. That's why we keep repeating it.
Once realized, can help combat the toxic patterns that we see in our community today, such as the crabs in a barrel mentality. As Jay-Z once said, crabs in a barrel, but crabs don't belong in the barrel. And they ain't never tell us that. So in the barrel, we're gonna act like we act. We can easily get out of the barrel if we stand on each other's back. Whoever gets on top, as long as they stay attached, they're gonna pull everybody out. I was doing just that. According to Angel Rich's research, it's going to take at least 250 years for us to catch up with our counterparts if we do not practice group economics. This is why it's so important to educate our people, especially our youth, on the importance of group economics to help close the wealth gap. Angel owns an app called Credit Rich to help people round up their spare change and intelligently optimize their credit score as fast as possible. There's also a directory called blackbusinessgreenbook.com where consumers can find black-owned brands from home goods to clothing and art, photography, and food.
Blackbusinessgreenbook.com. Check it out.
Black Nation is another app that can be used as a resource to
Black Nation, check it out. Along with Black Biz Tally. Find
black-owned businesses wherever you are. These are just a few resources that can help keep our money within our community and make us stronger for generations to come. If we really want change, let's start by taking some of the actions mentioned throughout this video.
There you go. And I got a next step we could take. I got a next step we can take to be able to help support each other. Now, once again, as I said when I started off from the top, this live stream is a fundraiser. And it's a fundraiser in conjunction with my other video, which is titled Black Biz Tally is Changing Black Lives, the Venice Toussaint interview. And the whole purpose of this being a fundraiser, this video and that video being a fundraiser, is to do just that, help support Black businesses. So the goal is to raise $5,000 for scholarships for Black business owners to help them get started, or whatever they would need at whatever point they are in their businesses, to be able to put some money in their pockets and help them grow their businesses, get their business started, all these things like little business scholarships for Black business owners. So please support to the fundraiser. Please support to the fundraiser. It's literally doing just that, supporting Black businesses. It's a literal action step. It's an action plan. We're not just talking about supporting Black businesses. We are actually supporting Black businesses with this fundraiser. And all of the money, all $5,000 will go to Black Biz Tally, and Black Biz Tally will pour that money into the Black vendors that are a part of the marketplace. So yes. If it's about supporting Black businesses, then it'll go. But nah, let me be. So Mr. Eric Boswell, this is a one-time fundraiser to support Black Biz Tally, but I do plan on doing other things to be able to help Black entities within the community, because if we can't just talk about it, we got to be about it. We got to put our money where our mouth is and stop and make sure that our money is back, is one of the actions that we're backing into and pouring into our community. So this, I have a tangible, practical way to support Black businesses right here with this fundraiser. With this fundraiser is a practical, tangible thing that can go into supporting Black businesses. So who bought it? Who's a real one? Let's do it. Let's not talk. Let's do it. So let me share my screen, because I want to show you some of that interview that I had with Black Biz Tally, so you can get a better understanding of who Miss Venice Toussaint is and what Black Biz Tally brings, so we know what we support. But also, this is another it's a hub that we can use. It's a marketplace that Black people can use. You want to support Black businesses? This is another way to support Black businesses. Black Biz Tally. So let's check it out. Your phones, your tablets, your iPads, whatever. So you can get the Googling and get the learning, because we're diving into a great interview, one that will definitely inspire you to spend more money within your community. But she's created a marketplace where you can do that. So with that being said, I want you all to put your hands together for Miss Venice Toussaint. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for being here, and thank you for what you are doing for my community.
You are welcome. Thank you for having me. I love what your show represents. I love the name, On the Shoulders of Giants. So this is highly appreciated.
Oh no, thank you. Like I said, I just want to make sure I'm doing my part to pour into those who point into my community. So thank you. So with that being said, I gave the intro, but can you tell us who is Venice Toussaint, and what or who has helped make you into the woman that you are today?
All right. So you said a little bit of it in the intro. So I'll expound upon it. So definitely a servant leader. I remember I was probably about 12 years old. And my prayer was always to ask God to use me to help other people, literally at the age of 11 and 12 years old. So all throughout my life, I found ways to do that in different capacities. And so I would definitely consider myself as someone who loves to serve, loves to help other people. I'm an entrepreneur, and I just want to see us win, period, the end.
Right.
And as for who molded me into the woman I am today, would have to be my family. Definitely my late grandmother, who was everything to me, who taught me a lot of what I know and a lot of what I do, my parents, they've modeled for me what community looks like. And so that is the environment that I was raised in, and that really shaped me into the woman I am today.
No, that's amazing that you grew up within community that preached community and showed it to you and passed it down to you. So you have those values, and we can see those values that you're bringing into our community. And then, you know, they taught you about business within the family. So like, what were those conversations like with your grandmothers and with your other family members, them passing down that information?
The importance of ownership in order to control your destiny. My maternal, you mentioned it, my maternal grandmother, she would sell the goods that my grandfather would farm back in Haiti. And so when she came to the United States, she came as a domestic worker. She worked in the homes of several wealthy white families. And she always knew that her path out of that poverty was to create her own, even while she was working for those families in order to support her own family. So that was really, for me, the bedrock of what got me here.
Gotcha. And that's what we preach that on this channel all the time. Own everything that you do. Own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. Now that's amazing. That is amazing. So you have an extensive background in entrepreneurship, and then you also have that background in journalism.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. So with all of that in your background, how did you get to be inspired to create what we know now as Black Biz Tally?
I think Black Biz Tally for me was created out of a need and a void in the community for a one-stop shop, a convenient way to find Black-owned businesses. So when I moved here to Tallahassee back in 2017, 2018, I, of course, wanted to support Black-owned businesses, but I found that there was no simple way to just find these businesses. Yeah, I could scroll through social media and do Google searches, but that's not always convenient when you're just trying to find somewhere really quickly. And so that's when a light bulb turned on for me. But years passed, you kind of shelve things because life happens. And then finally, I was just like, no, I have to create this. And so it really came out of a need for myself. And also I saw other people wanting to support Black-owned businesses and not really knowing how to do that.
No, so kudos to you, because you actually was able to make it happen into something that's actually tangible. And I say that because over the last 15, 20 years, I've been active in this community in Tallahassee, and I've seen several people attempt to create Black business hubs. And there were some Black business hubs, but none to the level of what you have. And so that's why I say kudos to you, because it was more than just a verbal thing. It was more than just like a Facebook group thing. It's like a physical place that we can walk into, and it's a digital place. So that's amazing. That is amazing. So, but also are you using any of your background in journalism or any other realm of entrepreneur that you worked in? Eric Boswell, that's actually not true. I can't think of the name of the hub, but there's a black business hub where they sell all types of products like that: toilet paper, washing powder, all types of stuff like that. Black folk just not supporting it in mass. And so even something like Black Biz Tally, the marketplace that she has can become that if it's poured into. Because I hear what you're saying, but those places, Amazon started somewhere, and then people poured into it. So something like Black Biz Tally, if it's poured into, but there is a hub that is like that for Black-owned businesses where they sell toilet paper, all those things for Black people. Buy Black, it was like the Buy Black movement that went on for a while. It's Buy Black something, but it does exist. So are you using that and to incorporate those skills into Black Biz Tally to help grow it and expand it?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, my background in journalism taught me how to be a great communicator. And as a business owner, you have to be able to communicate with people from all walks of life. As a journalist, I was talking to and interviewing people who looked like me, people who didn't look like me, people who liked who looked like me, people who hated folks who look like me. And you just have to know how to navigate in all of those spaces and to communicate your true intentions and to also listen to what the needs of other people are. So for me as a business owner, a lot of that comes back around full circle. A lot of those skills that I learned as a journalist, I'm using today because owning a marketplace, I'm dealing with dozens.
Ameriki Oswald. Yes, I think it was We Buy Black. Yes. Yeah, it is it is We Buy Black. Yep. It's the whole marketplace where you can get a whole bunch of household items and things like that. And Radical for God. So Radical for God, you just hit an argue, huh? So how about this? Be an intelligent arguer and give us some information to counter what I'm saying instead of just asking stupid questions. Produce some information to counter what I'm saying. Or guess what? Your ass don't have to be here. Or did you just come to be an asshole? Which one you did?
Of different personalities and people every day. And so I'd have to know how to navigate that, and I have to know how to communicate to them effectively in order for us to run the business.
Gotcha. Okay. Now that's always great to see how people use all of their talents and skills into one place. So
yeah.
And so with Black Biz Tally, I know you have a mission, and there's a mission, and because you're Black, your soul in it, you know. And so how would you describe the mission or the soul of Black Biz Tally to someone who has never heard of Black Biz Tally before?
So Black Biz Tally is Tallahassee's hub for Black-owned businesses. Our mission is to see Black-owned businesses thrive, and we do that by creating sustainable pathways in order for them to gain visibility, to gain community, to gain sales and customers. And we also do that by a physical marketplace as well as a digital directory where folks can find these businesses in order to support them.
Gotcha. And so I think that's so I want to play at least that. This is an hour-long interview that is available on my YouTube channel. The link for that interview is in the description, so you can go check that out. Check out the full interview, but I want you to get an idea of what you were supporting and supporting this fundraiser to support Black Biz Tally. It's a hub for Black entrepreneurs, and you don't have to be in Tallahassee to be a part of that. It's a hub for Black entrepreneurs, Black business owners, to be able to reach customers, and the customers support them, and they support the customers and build relationships with people. And I want to help Black business owners be able to do that. So that's why we have the fundraiser going, and the goal is $5,000. So please support. And the fundraiser will be running for about the next 31 days. So you got time to support. So and once again, that's a practical and an actual way to put our money where our mouths are, to actually take action on what we're talking about. And if you don't want to support that one, cool, go support other Black businesses and stuff. But the thing is, just support Black businesses, because it ain't happening. Now we're going to move further into debunking this myth of Black buying power. So once again, I told you we have Professor Jared Ball and Mark Lamont Hill having that conversation about the myth of Black buying power. And I know Jared Ball has written a book about Black buying power. So that's one of the hills that he stands on, rejecting the notion of buying power. So Elizabeth, real quick, Cashapp pretty much is it's a digital space where you can exchange money. So Cashapp will be connected to one of your bank accounts, and then it'll help you move money from a bank account to either your Cashapp space or to somebody else. So it's just a medium to help you hold money and a medium to help you send money to other people. So what's going on, Will? My brother, how you doing? So, and then the Black Americans who have personal businesses who buy products from white-owned businesses and resell them to Black aides are marked up for them. I mean, Mr. Eric, I mean, look, we know we got issues within our community. We know that. We already know that when we're going to do that. But at some point, we got to change our mindsets. If the view is going to be totally negative when it comes to supporting Black businesses, then just don't do it. If you have to come up and look at every negative thing that's going to help, that's going to operate with Black businesses, then just don't do it. Or find the reputable Black businesses. But yes, we got a lot of raggedy Black businesses out here, just like it's a lot of raggedy white businesses out here. But we don't have those mindsets when it comes to supporting these white businesses, these raggedy white businesses, because we go right into these raggedy white businesses, no matter how much they've disrespected us, and still give them our money. Now, that's not an excuse for Black businesses to operate raggedy, but what I am saying is we do operate as a double standard with Black people, and we know because we have an issue with ourselves. We always come up with excuses of why we can't support us. While the white man is giving us, they ass to kiss too. Do Black businesses need to be better? Yes. Those Black businesses who do that, don't support them, but that's not all Black businesses. It's not all Black, but we can't, and we have to stop acting like because you got beef with one or two Black businesses that those are all Black businesses. That's unfair, and it's ignorant, and it's not true. Stop going to McDonald's. Stop going to Walmart. Stop going to Popeyes. Stop going to Whataburger. Stop going to all these white places. Stop going to these corner stores where these Arab people be cussing y'all out and treating you wrong. Stop going to these hotels where these Indian people be treating us wrong. But we keep doing that. Why do we keep doing that? The problem, like I said earlier, the problem is not bad business. The problem is bad business with a Black face for Black people. If the problem was bad business, Black people would not. Waffle House would have been one out of business. If that was the case, if bad business was the case, Waffle House would have been out of business. But Waffle House ain't going nowhere. Waffle House is the one place that you know gonna be a whole storm could just happen. And Waffle House gonna be open. That doesn't, once again, that's not an excuse for Black businesses. Do Black businesses need to be better? Yes. At the top of the show, I said we're indicting Black businesses and the Black community. The Black community does a horrible job of supporting the businesses, and the businesses do a horrible job of supporting and nurturing the community. That relationship needs to heal both ways. But that doesn't mean we just stop supporting each other. And that doesn't mean that we think about all type of excuses to not support each other. Well, hell, if we don't support us, who the hell will? And you can't tell me every Black business operate like that. So there is a Black supermarket in my area. The it's the Piggly Wiggly is Black owned. So we do actually have two Black owned supermarkets in my area. They are the Piggly Wiggly, but they are Black owned. So it's not a Black entity, a Black name, but they are Black owned. We can say that. So, but we do have smaller entities who have products that we buy from in this area. But the thing is, it has to grow. It has to grow. We have to nurture it. We have to pour into it. These white businesses didn't start where they are. They didn't start where they are. They grew into what they are because the community supported it. We do know that, right? Like, we have to support it for it to grow. But let's get into this last conversation. Please hit that like button if you have not already. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share this. Hit that hype button. Let's make sure as many people see this. And remember, this is a fundraiser. We are supporting Black Biz Tally.
One of my favorite things to do is to watch you debate Boyce Watkins. And I don't want to call it a debate really, because Boyce often doesn't respond. But when the conversation comes up about Black wealth, about his economic policies, economic strategies, I see you on Twitter, Instagram, etc. You often push back, and your book has become a target of the critique of some of those kind of LLC Twitter, some of the capitalist Twitter accounts, but you've also used your book as a space to critique them. And so what I'd like to hear you talk about just a little bit, or as much as you want, is so what is the myth and propaganda of Black buying power?
No, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been wild. The responses have been wild. I've been even thinking of I should write something about just the responses, the reaction to the book. It's been fascinating in many ways. But the argument,
real quick, what people hear, and in my understanding, when I watch the Twitter beast, and I spend way too many hours watching you go back and forth, what I think what people assume is that you are rejecting Black self-determination, that you are effectively saying
he's definitely not doing that.
Black people don't have the capacity to engage in a kind of kujichagulia that will get us some level of liberation. And that seems, in the minds of many, to fly in the face, maybe even disrespect a long tradition of Black people saying we can do for us, by us, you know, in the Black nationalist tradition, you know, and all kinds of traditions. So that's the context I think that people are pushing back against. Now tell me why they're wrong.
No.
You're applying for tech jobs, and every listing says
where's the actual well
required.
Once
we accelerate your technology.
Where's the reality?
No, but that's exactly how what often happens is people hear a snippet or they hear a line or they read a title and they jump to conclusions. Frankly, I'm not aware of anyone who has actually read the book and produced a substantive critique of the actual argument. They're arguing against what I've often not said. So I am not opposed to Black business. I'm not opposed to self-determination. I am not opposed to all forms of nationalist and radical revolutionary nationalist activity. I'm simply saying, and what I had initially hoped for the book was that it would help activist endeavors to get past a mythological hurdle that I think inhibits, and I think am increasingly learning and wanting to produce more work to show is been by design imposed as a narrative solution for Black liberation that appeases and maintains and keeps safe white supremacy and capitalism.
We keep spending our money on
so the longer story short is, again, that for years being an activist in other spaces and just involved in engaged in media, I've heard what we've all heard, this repeating refrain that Black people have now approaching $1.8 trillion in buying power. And then it's followed shortly thereafter by something along the lines that if we had greater degrees of financial literacy, if we saved more, invested more, bought land and stock instead of rims, weed, and hair and whatever, that we would be able to use those resources to develop in a very independent and revolutionary way an independent Black economy and solve all of these issues, including income and wealth gaps.
Is there any value in that, right? So, I mean, I think about the Black nationalist tradition. I'm thinking specifically, let me be more specific, not just Black nationalist tradition. I'm thinking specifically about groups like the Nation of Islam, right? Who have always had a conservative underpinning, right? They believe in capitalism. They believe in their right-wing moralism and conservative in lots of ways. Maybe I'm just becoming old, but I do see sometimes some value in those arguments, not to negate the issues of political economy, not to negate the critique of capitalism. But the truth is, if people generally were to spend less money on things they don't need, if they were to generally not fetishize capitalism, if they generally spent money in their own communities, our lives would be substantively better. And so it doesn't actually solve the problem that is produced by capitalism as our mode of production. And as long as you're in the context of a class defending state, you're going to have all kinds of problems around mass incarceration, around all the things, right? But if I were trying to organize people, and it seems like all the Nation, the Panthers, as we organize people across these traditions, there is some value to teaching discipline, to teaching community investment, things that don't solve the ultimate problem, but maybe get people into a space to even hear the critique you're offering.
Hey, Elizabeth, I was just about to ask him. Eric must really, I guarantee you, every roasting session you was in, you lost. If you thought that was funny. You said, LMAO, I live in California, and the only thing I get from Black-owned anything is in a restaurant. First of all, you live in California. Most Black people don't live in California. Most Black people in the United States don't live in California. Say, thank God for Amazon because I don't buy from immigrants here. Where are those Black-owned businesses? I just gave you 3 Black-owned hubs. 3 online hubs I just named in this live stream, but you can also use your Google to look for hubs. We buy Black. You can go find online hubs and they can do the same thing Amazon do. But you found humor in that. Get them, Elizabeth. That's crazy. You didn't do well in jokes and joking back and forth. I could tell that if you found that funny. But the thing is, what you've typed is the mindset that we're fighting against. The mindset that we're fighting against. You live in California. You're a black man who lives in California. You know you live in California. And you know most black people in the United States don't live in California. But there are black-owned businesses in California. Have you looked for them? You asking, where are these black-owned businesses in the United States? Have you looked for them? So you think you the one black person in the whole United States that think black-owned businesses don't exist? That's why mindsets like that is why we believe spending $1.7 trillion with other people is a benefit. That's why we believe spending $1.7 trillion with other people is an asset. It pushes us forward. It gives us power. It doesn't. You're not gonna have power giving everybody your money. How? $1.7 trillion you giving, most of that goes to other groups of people. And we clearly black people don't hate white supremacy. Clearly black people don't hate white people if we give them most of our money. So all that stuff, all the complaining we do about all these other people, it's just talking, because our actions show otherwise. Our actions show that we value what they bring to us more than what we bring to ourselves. And that's why black people brain trust. That's why black people, we got to have a paradigm shift. We got to have a paradigm shift. And so, and even that, Sion, yeah, everybody copies us. Like the comment Elizabeth did earlier. And I'm just taking put a spin on it. If you build it, you must protect it. You know they're coming. If you build it, you must protect it, right? So you must protect it if you build it. Actually, yes. Yes, Eric Boswell. Actually, I do. Now, the merch that's on here, no, that's not. But my actual other merch, I got a whole lot of merch that I've sold from a black-owned business called T-Shirt Envy, ran by my homeboy Fred Sweet. T-Shirt Envy. T-Shirt Envy is a black merch business that I work with a lot. I've worked with over the years, and I've spent a lot of money with. T-Shirt Envy. You thought you got me, didn't you? T-Shirt Envy. I have one that is not connected with it and another one that is. The majority of the merch that I sell comes from T-Shirt Envy. I created the one on here so I can do some drop shipping and get it to other people and make it easy. But T-Shirt Envy, owned by my homeboy Fred Sweet, who's a black person. That's where most of my merch that I sell comes from, a black-owned business. T-Shirt Envy. You thought you had me, didn't you? Eric, stop it. This one fight you're not gonna win, my brother.
Do you worry ever that if we go too far to the this don't really work ultimately argument, we don't even get people into the penultimate space?
I have worried about that, and that's why initially I wrote this book with.
Oh yeah, and one more thing for you, Eric Boswell, Boss Lady Designs. My man Sean Garman, his wife, she did a lot of my merch. Boss Lady Designs. She did a lot of my merch. So that's two black-owned businesses.
every effort to suppress my actual politics because I didn't want there to be a distraction with what are my actual politics. I just wanted people to focus on this one myth. So my point is that so ultimately what I'm trying to say is that it's not that there's no value in all that you've described. It's that the problem becomes this is not used as a way to get people into a room to talk about, to teach more about how the economy actually works and what could be done to upset it, or what our relationship is to it and what could be done to upset that. It's used as a final sort of culminating political goal that will lead us to our salvation. So I'm simply saying there's this long tradition that is as long as this has been argued that has been showing that it doesn't work. So it's and largely because a capitalist economy has already established through what Marx called the primitive accumulation of wealth, has already captured all of the primary and dominant mechanisms for producing wealth in this society. So that's one part of it. So starting businesses is not a solution. It's also not how the wealth of this society was created by those who hold it. So they're even advocating that we do something that
if we don't start another new business, we're good. We just need to support the ones we have right now. We have to do a good job of supporting what we have. And because I agree in that starting more new businesses in a culture of people who don't support the majority of the Black-owned business. You know, majority of Black-owned businesses are like individually owned. They got like one person running it. They don't have employees. Most Black-owned businesses. And because the idea is to build wealth. Oh yes, Sion. Thank you. All right, well, let's talk, my brother. Let's talk. The idea is, dang, what was I saying? What was they saying? I forgot what I was saying. Hold on.
Society was created by those who hold it. So they're even advocating.
Oh yeah. So we're starting more Black businesses in an environment where the majority of us don't support Black businesses the way we're supposed to on a regular basis. And so starting Black businesses in that climate or that environment is not fruitful, because if you're not supporting what you already have, creating more won't help. There's no balance in that. There's no evening out or anything like that. We need a mindset change ASAP, a mindset change right now to say our livelihood and our future depends on us supporting ourselves. If we don't support ourselves, we don't eat. If we don't support ourselves, we don't have roofs over our head. If we don't support ourselves, we can't defend ourselves. Because that 1.7 trillion that we're giving to everybody, or the majority of that we're giving to everybody else, imagine if we decided to aggregate that. We would truly be operating in the GDP of a whole nation. But we will also have to operate as a cohesive group of people on a national scale. Dub says, after saying we Black people don't have issues with white supremacy, do you think we as a collective are not interested in liberation and freedom? No, I don't think we as a collective are interested in liberation and freedom. I don't. I think that there's a critical mass of us that are interested in liberation and freedom. And that's you know, Dub, I'm gonna be real with you. Me and my homeboy Maurice Love, we had that conversation before COVID. It was before COVID we had that conversation. And in that conversation, let's say 2018, let's say we had that conversation 2018. In 2018, I knew the reality of it. I just never wanted to accept it. And until recently, I accepted the reality that the majority of Black people in America don't want liberation. The majority of us don't. The majority of Black people are cool with only finding a comfortable place in the mess that we're in white supremacy. And so I don't believe the majority of us want that, to be honest. And that's a sad reality, but I don't. In relation to the copying, Judah is he who his brothers would praise. You right. Ideas related to creating a budget surplus beyond fixed survival-related expenses is the type of education that should also come before our ethnicity's abilities to be generous builds the pot. There you go. I agree with you, Mr. Brian Jefferson. Yep. From which we can then be more generous other than just pocket change. There you go. Yeah. It's a whole paradigm shift. You're right. If your black people don't support black people, then who are you expecting to donate to the fundraiser you mentioned? If good quality stuff and if prices are right. We got to get serious about that budgeting skill set so the money is going to the right. You're right, Brian. You're right. You're right. You're right. Joe, you would be surprised how many of our people don't even understand the concept of liberation. Like, don't even know it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Cool. Yeah, we don't. But and I think that's why most of us don't even. I don't think most of us even realize the position that we're in. They just all they know is somebody told them racism exists. That's all they know. So yeah. It says she being comfortable under white supremacy will get you unalive. They don't realize that. They like the crumbs. The crumbs are feeding their soul right now. That's the real soul food for them. Do the work. The community will see what you're doing and support it. That's how the Panthers grew. You got to do the work. You do got to do the work. You do got to do the work.
That we do something that others have never done. They didn't start by circulating their dollars and starting small businesses and supporting within their community. The capitalist accumulation was violent. It was land grabbing, genocidal, enslaving. It was war. It was suppression of other economies. It was theft. It was greed. It was murder. That's where all the wealth how they accumulated all this wealth, and then they tell us to do something else. And what I've been learning more and more is that that's been done by design. The argument around black capitalism has been literally used as a psychological warfare technique to keep black people away from radically politically organizing through what is our only means of actual power, political organization and movements. So even to your point, if
I'm not really a cupcake, but I am super baked thanks to Mood Can.
Mood is third-party tested. So
if it's understood backwards. If we encourage more in our community to save and spend more frugally and responsibly, we will end up hurting working people in those parts of the economy where many of our people are who depend on us going to.
No, we need to redirect our spending. Redirect the spending to our own businesses within our own communities, but also I hear what a lot of people be saying about capitalism, but then I also ask what economic system historically, what economic system has black people been able to thrive in under the system of white supremacy? And I'm not talking about economic systems before the system of white supremacy, because that doesn't help us with our current system. But since 1492, what economic system have black people anywhere under the globe been able to en masse thrive under? Because it hasn't been capitalism, hasn't been socialism, hasn't been communism, hasn't been none of them. Now, capitalism is the economic system that we exist under while we in this Western society. So I was thinking we should use it the best way to our advantage, though. But use it the way that helps us. I mean, other groups have been able to use capitalism to empower themselves. We're the only group that act like we can't use capitalism to empower ourselves as a group. It's how you operate under that system. We don't have to have the regular individualism mindsets in the capitalistic system. We can still operate communally within the capitalistic system. Nobody's making us do what we're doing with our money. Nobody's making us doing it. I mean, the programming is there, but nobody's making us doing it. So I hear what he's saying with the capitalism stuff, and I hear a lot of people what they're saying about capitalism, but you know, it is what it is. The economic system is going to be the economic system, and black people have always been on the bottom of all these economic systems. But if we're going to empower ourselves within these systems, we just need to do that, like within us, like redirect our spending, redirect the way we do things, and make it about us. What Malcolm X said about liberals and allyship has a lot of people just comfortable enough not to see the need for community-based efforts to the exclusion of all other social priorities. You're right. You're right. Like Dr. Needler Fuller said, wake up, you're in a war. Yep. He said agriculture, we do need agriculture. Hey man, by agriculture, look, I see black people in my city, I see black people not take advantage of free community gardens all the time. And I'm talking about people be going hungry and the community garden is right there and it's free. All right, see you later, Elizabeth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Brian says, to me, it seems independent. You need a business to buy from and you need people patronizing business. Whites not see one without the other. It's both together. Yep. Capitalism has flaws to the point that it's almost better to take a Robin Hood approach, earn money targeting other groups and be generous with each. Hey, I'm just saying. And my argument is along the same lines as yours. There's flaws in all these economic systems, and we have to learn how to use the systems to our greatest advantage for us. So I'm with you on that. And Gigi, you're asking specifically what you're asking for an example for, so I can make sure I can answer your question correctly, as correctly as possible. As an example, when Iran got bombed and the children lost their lives, nobody said nothing, but Nigeria is being discussed by Europe because of a coup that kicked them out. Quality work, quality products, quality prices. Hey, you can't escape quality. Overall, you can't escape quality. That's why Chick-fil-A does what it does. But that don't mean black people not gonna go to it. Hence, Popeyes and Waffle House. But we should preach top-notch quality. You're right, Robert.
This or that business or spending in this or that. So that's, by the way, how capitalism in this society works. It's 70% consumer based. If people, as we saw during the pandemic, stop spending, the economy collapses and the rich start to panic. Then they have to do all the things that we saw them do, use public policy to create money out of nowhere and redistribute it to themselves. So what I'm actually advocating is that instead of telling us, and I'll come back to a moment how the buying power is actually mythology, but my point ultimately is instead of telling us to business our way to equality, what we should be saying is we should be valued more for our consumption. The consumer, it's the engagement.
What does it mean to value us more for our consumption?
Well, for me, it would be to redistribute the wealth that's created in this world. I mean, we have to remember that, first of all, we were just looking at it. It's somewhere around $150 trillion in private wealth is generated in this country every year. Around $450 trillion in private wealth around the world is generated every year, except only 1% have it. And that wealth is generated through our labor, through our consumption, when we pay bills, when we buy the $10 lattes, when we go to the...
But it's more so from the consumption than anything. Of course, the labor's going to be there. The labor's going to be there, but labor can be shifted. But it's the consumption. Nobody's making us consume these white products. Nobody, not at the... I understand there are going to have to be things that you're going to have to get what you need to get, but the overconsumption of it, nobody's making us do it, though. It's not the white businesses' fault that we're doing that. Nobody's making us do that. So there will be a level of consumption because of our lack of ownership and control of industries, things like that. But we have to learn how to control what we can control, and we don't control that. Yep. They take our money, then lobby and advance initiatives for themselves. Right? Nobody's making black people go out and buy Gucci, Louis, all these things here, try to look the part and fit in. Nobody's making us do that. Nobody's making us value these white brands the way we do. Yeah, those community gardens do need marketing, but a lot of those people are lazy because and I'm not sure about other communities. And so I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna speak on community gardens in other communities. But in my community, my city here in Tallahassee, those community gardens are right in the middle of the communities who need them. Everybody who need those communities, everybody who need those gardens in my community knows exactly what those gardens are, and they still don't utilize them. They're in the middle of the communities. You can't miss it. They do need better advertising. They do. I do not disagree with that. I do not, Ace, trust me, I agree with you. But the people who are in those communities see those gardens, and here in Tallahassee, they see those gardens every day. I can't speak on anybody else. Said the country is too stupid to run off of just facts alone. Meet the customers where they are, and that's the business part you can control. I hear you, but once again, and once I can't speak on other gardens in other communities, but in my communities, the people who need the gardens the most know exactly where they are because they pass the garden every day. So yeah, we do have farmers markets, food trucks, all those. We actually have a whole bunch of people who do initiatives. Miss Camille Lewis, Miss Setta Barnhart, Mr. Eric Barnhart, just to name a few people who do a lot of agricultural initiatives here in this city to make sure fresh food is happening. There are farmer markets that are happening all the time, especially in the Black communities. The old countrymen come up and set up their trucks on the side of the roads. Like, it's stuff that can happen. It's there are elements of it there. We just need to structure it and aggregate it.
Club, when we buy rims, when we get our hair done, when we buy our clothing, even from our own Black-owned businesses. That is the exchange that creates a profit and creates wealth. The only problem is that is just ever accumulated, ever upwards to the point where we have, again, 1/10 of 1% have all the wealth. We have 700, Forbes just reported 737 people in this country are worth $5 trillion plus. That's not because they were good business people and what they were. They
ate the vitamins and said their prayers. That wasn't how they got it.
No, I was just at a conference where an elder brother told us Black people are poor because we're not going to church enough. We're not morally fit, and that was so disturbing to me. It was so. My point is, that just took me back to that moment. But that's the problem. So instead of saying don't shop, we should be saying no. You should value me more by redistributing that wealth more. So the wealth so again, I tell the story all the time, but I was at a popular sporting goods store around where I live to buy my daughter her soccer gear. And we get to the cashier and the brother says, would you like to, in addition to this, give some extra money to cancer research? And I said, no.
I was so skeptical that a powder could clean my dog's teeth, but look at the results. And
he and everybody in the line started looking at me crazy. And I was like, yeah, like, you're not going to shame me in front of my child. So I said, look, quick Google, look up the owner of this sporting goods store. He's a multi-billionaire. This store generates billions of dollars every year because I just spent $80 on a soccer ball and some socks.
Why am I donating in his proxy? He should be donating to cancer and me.
Exactly. And you behind the cashier should be making more and working less. That's what I'm saying. We should all have more because
but we can't live in shoulds. We got to live in have tos and gonna do's, right? And I hear what he's saying, and I don't disagree, but we can't live in shoulds. It have to be in have tos and gonna do's, right? So we have to do this, and we're going to do this to change this for us. We live in America. And we know exactly how wealth and the greed and the 1%, we know how these folk work. We know how these folk got in their position, power, all that. We know how that works. You're going to take it. You're going to take, are we going to take power or what? We can sit here and try to intellectualize our way into this or around this all we want. The question at the end of the day is, Black folk, you're going to take power or what? Forget trying to be the smartest person in the room. Forget all that. Forget trying to break it down to the umpteenth letter and all that. Black folk, you gonna keep living on your knees or not? You're gonna keep being second, third, fourth class citizen or not? You're gonna work together or not? You're gonna aggregate your stuff or not? And if you're not gonna do it, cool. But like I answered earlier, I don't believe the majority of Black people want that. So those of us who do, we got the barbecue. We got to get it going. We got to make it happen. We got to be doing it every day. We should be doing what we're talking about here to make things better. But we already know we're gonna be at a disadvantage because the majority of us don't want it, and we're behind enemy lines. So we are an extreme minority of people. But what can we do for ourselves and our little future that we're trying to build? So one question perplexed me for years as a child. Why are we so content or comfortable seeing so many vehicles representing the ingenuity of Euros and Asians, and not one represents Black ingenuity? Because we love everything that's either white or white adjacent or look white or as light as, and if it's white or close to white. Most of us hate ourselves. Most of us have great disdain for anything Black, which is unfortunate. We've been taught and programmed to hate everything Black. White is the mark, Black is the bottom. And we haven't been able to shake that mindset. White ice is still colder. Because remember, doing it was a whole integration movement. And most Black people, it was a lot of Black people who were against integration, but most Black people were for it. But we learned that integration wasn't a good thing, and we haven't done anything about it. Remember, the only time in this country where we did for self en masse is when we were forced to. That's a problem. Unfortunately, even I'll come down to defending ourselves, because we're going to come up with something that's going to work. They're going to outlaw it and legislate it and enforce that. And we got to be prepared for that. You're right. We have to be prepared for whatever they do. Whenever we come up with something great, that's why we need to learn how to be 10 steps ahead. That's why they always tell us, study your enemy, so we can be 10 steps ahead. Because you're right, Brian. We create something good for us, they're going to find some fault in it. So we need to be 10 steps ahead. Said trillionaires. Shit, I'm from dollar store rich and department store poor. Hey, Dollar Tree shopper here, my brother. Yep. What is the combativeness martial force training to go behind the individual and collective intelligence? There you go. If you can't protect it, don't nobody care. And it's going to come down to who is strong enough to overpower the other group. And that's the real line in the sand. Most people, most places on earth haven't been due to teach and due to tech and strategy. You're right. Okeophobia is the fear, distrust, or contempt for one's own home, culture, or society. It involves a desire to degenerate one's own cultural roots and institutions. Yep. Since most of us have self-hatred, you're putting the cart before the horse with Black businesses. I mean, but that not necessarily, because we still have to have some kind of forward motion. I get what you're saying, but we still have to do something, because we have to build some kind of way. But starting with those who give a damn. So everybody who said they give a damn support Black businesses, and that's the thing. Because a lot of us talk about it, but most of us don't do it. But I get what you're saying. But we still have to have some kind of something going. We can't just not put our money in places that could potentially affect us. But I don't completely disagree with you, but we got to have some kind of motion, some kind of something going on. I wish everyone who ever did military service became ballistics instructors and trained to form self-defense. Yeah, we one thing Black people do not do is military science, military tactical training, anything like that. Yeah, I believe in us too. I believe in us. I believe in all of us who give a damn too. I ain't gonna lie. I don't believe in those of us who don't give a damn. I believe in all of us who give a damn.
That's, again, not to go too much into that Marxist guy, but the point is, he made the point. Capitalism shows the contradiction of capitalism. It shows we can produce everything we need. Everybody can have what they need. It's if we redistribute it. And so that's really what my point is. So just quickly, because I don't want to lose.
That's a good segue. That's a good segue to the last thing I want to talk to you about.
But real quick, I just want to clarify one point that about the mythology of buying power. I just want to clarify that the $1.8 trillion, the myth of buying power, and one of the to me the greatest value of my work here is that I identify what are now, it originally was really just one, but are now 3 key sources for that same mythology. And it's born out of marketing and advertising data. It has nothing to do with the actual income and wealth of Black people.
Right,
it is based on what they say in their own reports, the Selig Center, that it is estimates and projections based on survey data of what Black people spend as consumers.
Right.
And it's used to help advertisers and businesses use their ad revenue better to target Black communities. And the problem, because too many in the Black commercial press who need that ad revenue want to promote that they have a community of an audience that can buy the products that white ad buyers will want to sell. So it becomes this incestuous myth recirculating process that leaves often Black consumers of that media completely unaware and confused as to how the economy works. So I just wanted us to get past this mythology before we reach whatever solution we want to reach. And in no way meaning to condemn or blame nationalists or Black business people or even the Black capitalist business class per se, that does often benefit as the isolated one group, to relatively speaking, but is to simply say that we are not poor because we've misspent and are ignorant of our finances. In fact, Black people, by studies show, the most financially literate and careful with their money. It's that we're locked in a part of the economy that is meant for pure exploitation. So that's what I wanted us to get past. So
we were brought over here to be exploited. So the question is, what do we do about it? How do we change that? One is valuing what we do for ourselves, like actually giving a damn. Putting our money where our mouth is when it comes to actually supporting Black entities. Once again, like supporting the fundraiser attached to this video and my video, Black Biz Tally is changing Black lives. Donating to the fundraiser. Donating to the fundraiser will help Black business owners build their businesses, grow their businesses, be able to improve their businesses. That's how we do it. We have to pour into the businesses, and we have to make sure the businesses pour into us. And the businesses ain't pouring to us, then we check them. But this is something we're gonna have to do for us. But also going at it with a realistic understanding, like everybody's not gonna be down. You can't be mad at people that's not down. You rock with the people that are down. That's what we're supposed to do. So said very much on the Black Panther tip, it's all defense. We're not trying to overrun or overtake anything, just having basic rights respected. And white supremacists don't do that by default. They do not do that. It's earned. It is earned. If we actually succeed under our own banner, we might be eligible for allyship from other actual nations and rely and really secure our position. You're right. But we got to get out. We got to get on it. We got to get our stuff together and get on it. But that seems like long game right now. Should be enough to just get a cohesive culture and group economics. Yeah, I think, we are building for a future that we're not going to live to see. So I asked that question before, and I'm asking it in. How many of us are willing and prepared to build for a future that you're not going to see, that you're not going to live to see? That's how you know you're real, if you're building for a future that you're not going to live to see. Hey, power matters. Power matters. That's why this is our Monday reading now. That's why this book is our Monday reading, The Blueprint for Black Power. Power is important. We got to look at the history of the world and understand what power is and how power truly works. And stop trying to think that we can exist in the world that we created in our mind. How does the world actually exist? That's the world that we exist in. That's the world we should be preparing for, not a world that we have in our mind. So imagine if the southern states actually purged its hyper-racist contingent and became its own Black American nation, allied with Black America, but separate, and insisted upon being treated right. Hey, man. Hey, that would be powerful. Nobody's stopping us from standing up. Of course, when we stand up, they're going to try to knock us down, but nobody's stopping us from standing up. Nobody's stopping us from supporting. Nobody's stopping us from doing what we need to do. So let's continue to do that. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you all for supporting On the Shoulders of Giants, and I'm asking you please to support Black Biz Tally and donate to this fundraiser. So this On the Shoulders of Giants in conjunction with PAX Inc. And PAX Inc. is myself, Professor Carlton Jones, and Patrick Irvin, our collective organization, PAX Inc. We're in conjunction with Black Biz Tally, have this fundraiser going on for the next 31 days to raise $5,000 to support Black-owned businesses. And so I see we have $110 that have been raised already. Thank you to everybody who has supported this already. And we're looking to reach this $5,000 mark by the 31st, and we need your support. We need your help. We're going to continue to support and promote this. So like I say, I want to be part of putting the money where our mouth is. You got to do it. Yes, sir. Uptight. Yes, sir. That could be another form of real reparations. Give land sovereignty over what we worked for generations. U.S. have never had in this playbook. Hey, man, I agree. I agree. Much respect to you, Joe. Thank you. You can't handle the truth. Thank you very much. Incentive for the future is important. I have kids. You never have to tell me twice, but I understand somebody with no kids who lives right now, the incentive needs to be invested into heavily. Yeah, and I'm one of those people. I don't have any children. But I get it. I'm 42. I don't have any children. I'm 42. I get it. The reality is that future, I'm not going to be alive to see that future, but damn it, I want that future. I want that future to happen bad. So yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yes, I'm one of those few who don't have kids who really willing to do what we got to do to make that future happen. So yes. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to Black Biz Tally, PAX Inc., and everybody who's supporting. Thank you to everybody in the chat, everybody who's supporting the fundraising and everything that's going on. Hey, let's do this, Battle Ganja. Let's do this, man. Thank you all. I love you all, Black people. Let's continue to be great, be our best Black selves, and go out and make our communities better. Hey, I might see y'all live tomorrow. If not, I will see y'all Saturday. There you go. Eurocentrism creates a psychological prison, and it's time to break out. There we go. I love you all. Peace out. Catch y'all later. Please hit that like button. If you see that hype button, hit that hype button too.